breaks throughout the session where you can enjoy some food, which hopefully you guys have some refreshments now, and have a chance for some one-on-one conversations as well. We also have a few folks from Hyundai Canada with us today, along with our dealership staff to help answer any Hyundai-specific questions. Sorry, I forgot the clicker. What's the next thing? It's our first session, so don't mind the speed bumps. So I want to start by introducing our two speakers who are with me today. First, we have Mr. Daniel Breton, President and CEO of Electric Mobility Canada. Danielle, I'll ask you to just join me on stage for a second. And our second speaker is Mr. Patrick Nadeau, who will be talking about his trip he took from Quebec to Mexico in his electric vehicle, a Hyundai Ioniq 5. So please a welcome for these fine gentlemen. Thank you.
We're good to go?
We're good to go for now. So the main reason we put this presentation together is because, well, there are so many half-truths or outright misinformation being spread about electric vehicles every day. Hyundai is a leader in the field of electric vehicles, and we believe it is essential to set the record straight and have a more in-depth conversation on the subject. So first, what is an electric vehicle? Some seem to think that electric cars are a kind of spaceship, a new breed of cars that must be studied and tamed. However, the principle remains the same. The electric car has 4 wheels, a steering wheel, lights, and turn signals. The big difference is the energy it uses. While a conventional gasoline car must burn fuel to run its internal combustion engine, the electric car stores energy in a large battery, which is usually located under its floor. This battery allows the car to travel several hundred kilometers without emitting carbon dioxide. Quieter and generally faster than a gasoline car, the electric car therefore reduces its ecological footprint. And with a charging station at home, we can wake up every morning with 100% charge, just like we do with our phones. With the advancement of technology, electric vehicles are currently being deployed at an astronomical speed. Just 10 years ago, electric vehicles were still seen as something rare, even unusual, which leads some people to believe that this is a new invention. However, the electric car has been around a long time, a very long time in fact. We have to go back almost 200 years to find the first documentation of an electric vehicle. In the 1830s, a Scotsman named Robert Anderson had the idea of putting batteries on a horse-drawn carriage. The car could barely travel a kilometer and the batteries were not rechargeable. The idea was therefore not really viable and was mainly used to get the neighborhood talking about a horseless carriage. Despite this, the idea was born. In the late 1800s, Americans in the Philadelphia area took the idea further by developing the Electrobat, which is now considered the first commercially available electric vehicle. By the turn of the 1900s, this vehicle was being used in various electric taxi fleets in the northeastern United States. The range of the vehicles was limited, of course, but the taxis were equipped with removable batteries that could be removed and replaced with another fully charged battery. Despite the interesting concept, the company faced many financial challenges and eventually ceased operations in 1907. My favorite example of the potential electric vehicles remains the Jamais Canton. This is the car you see in the image at the bottom right. Shaped like a missile, this electric car became the first car to break the 100 kilometers per hour mark before any gasoline vehicle.
Content means never happy?
Never happy, just like my wife. So despite all its potential, the electric car quietly disappeared from the map around the turn of the 1900s. I'm just glad nobody raised their hand to ask why my wife's not happy, so thank you guys, I really appreciate that. Ironically, it was the advent of an electrical device, the starter, that propelled the gasoline car to market dominance. The starter made gasoline cars much easier to use. Before its arrival, you literally had to crank the engine manually. And of course, there was the price. By the time the famous Ford Model T came along, the gasoline car was a more logical financial choice for the vast majority of motorists. The 20th century was therefore the century of gasoline cars. Despite this, the idea of the electric car never really faded into oblivion. More modern electric vehicle concepts kept the project alive. You can see a few of them here on the screen, including the General Electric Delta, which was a response to attorney Ralph Nader, who had accused the company of deliberately hiding plans for a car that could reach 130 kilometers an hour and travel 320 kilometers. Did any of you have any of these cars, by the way? No? Okay. So here we are now in 2025, and the picture is changing radically. At Hyundai, close to 20% of their sales in Canada last year were 100% electric cars. Including hybrids and plug-in hybrids, 34% of their sales included cars that were electrified in one way or another. The fight against climate change makes this transition inevitable. We can no longer sit back and do nothing. At Hyundai, including the luxury brand Genesis, are currently offering 7 different electric vehicles with an 8th soon to follow, the Ioniq 9. And this is just the beginning. Several countries around the world, including Canada,